My guest today, Chrissy Teigen, couldn't make it because she's dealing with her own problems. So instead, we have my sister Kamala joining us on the podcast. And welcome to You Think You Know, because you think you know, but you don't know. On this episode, we'll be talking about Criminal Minds, Season 6, Episode 18.
What? That's oddly specific.
Well, I'm not going to recap the entire series of Criminal Minds. That's
Okay,
insane.
okay, let's
Okay.
go.
Um, I honestly, I was watching this and I you know, I get how you kind of watch TV and it's like it's on the background and like you're not paying attention and you're just playing on your phone and you're like, wait, what the hell just happened? And then I was like, and I'm still playing my phone. I'm like, wait, hold on, this episode is bonkers. So first of all, I want to say Criminal Minds. It was on like early 2000, like I want to say 2000. Actually, let me just Google that right now. Um, Criminal Minds. Oh, from 2005 to 2020, so 15 seasons. So they were on in like the mid, and so I guess season 6 would make it 2011. So that was still a while ago. So it's like
Yeah.
they do gay right. Like they don't sometimes shows are kind of like, okay, this is like not doesn't stand the test of time. But and other times shows feels like it's like, okay, you're kind of pandering to the gay community. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't seem authentic. It's like it feels like
Hmm.
you're creating a gay character or a gay episode to be current, as opposed to like it flowing naturally. But I love that like the cast is very diverse and like different ages and stuff. And like even the older guy, Rossi, is like kind of like very much like, why would I have a problem with being gay or try to change? It's like it's
Yeah.
a very cool episode without trying to like shove it down your throat. Um, okay, but buckle up, sister, because this episode is off the rails. Okay, so uh, first, first, at the beginning of the episode, we see this character Paul. He's outside the bar and he's approached by this woman who's like kind of like drunk and leaving her bachelorette party, and he seduces her and they go to his truck to have sex, but he's unable to perform. And then she's just like, okay, I don't have time for your whiskey dick. I gotta go. But then he forces her back into the truck and kills her and dumps the body, and puts a broken watch on her wrist that shows 6:22 as the time. And then that's when the Criminal Minds people get involved and like, oh, like there have been a few killings of people being stabbed, and with the broken watch is like the what do you call it? The identifier. Oh gosh, what was the word?
Calling card?
Yes, calling card. MO. Good job. Yes. So so they go to whatever's like Texas or wherever to investigate. And then they think it's like, oh, stabbing is like I'm going to teach you something. Stabbing apparently for killers is when they're unable to perform. It's like kind of their way of penetration or like fulfilling a sexual act that they physically can't do. So they think, oh, this guy must be impotent or whatever. So, anyways, so they think they're hunting the straight guy that is killing women. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So then later you see the killer at the bar with his friends, and then one of his friends introduces him saying like, oh, this is my new colleague, Doug. He just started and moved to town, so we're showing him around. It's like you can see that they're kind of flirting. Like I remember watching thinking like, wait, is this guy gay? Because like there's like major flirting going on at the bar between two, like not overtly, but the way they look at each other or kind of smile at each other, thinking like those two are gonna F. And sure enough, next scene, they're at the killer's house. His name's Paul, and Paul and Doug are there, and they begin to have sex, and then afterwards, the guy notices that Paul is angry or like ashamed of what he does, so he tries to comfort him, saying like, "Oh, don't worry, it's going to be okay. Everything will be okay. I'm here for you." But apparently, that was the wrong thing to say because it kind of triggered him, and then he ends up killing Doug, um, and uh, and then also leaves him with a broken watch that says 6:22 and dumps the body. Um, but then his friend who introduced the two came over saying like, "Oh my God, did you hear last night? Paul, Doug got murdered. They just found his body. Are you okay? Like you're the last to see him. Did you see anything or are you hurt?" And like he's like, "No, no, I'm fine." But then his friend sees like the blood stains and it's just like, "Oh, something's going like you. I think you may have killed my friend." And then we go back to the Criminal Minds people who are investigating, and they realize that, oh, this guy changes the MO. And then they're like, oh, wait, maybe 622 isn't the time of death or something. And then they bring it back to like the Bible verse, like 18:22 of Leviticus, like man should not lay with man.
Mhm.
Um, and then they realize that like, oh, this is 1822 is the name of some conversion camp. So they think the killer was probably someone that went to that conversion camp where they had to constantly recite 1822. And then they think, okay, like I think we narrowed him down just based on all these other factors. We know who it is. Um, so then we get a flashback and we realize that when he was young, the killer, his father hired a prostitute to change him, to like, make him straight, to make him a man, quote unquote. And then like the prostitute was the one that said, "Oh, don't worry, everything's going to be okay. Just trust me." And that's why he was triggered and killed the other guy. Um, okay, now this is where things get off the rails. So then we're back to the house where it's his friend who sees the blood stain and it's like, we have to get you help. You know, like you killed someone. Like we need to you need help. And then he's like, no, the only way we're gonna get help is until he admits what he's done. And like his friend's like, who are you talking about? It's like, my dad, of course. So they drive over to his dad's house. He's like this drunken redneck, straight, you know, like
Yeah.
hillbilly. Come on, I can't tell you like where I'm just like I was watching thinking, am I am I on drugs right now? Like what's happening? So they say so re, let's just revisit characters. Paul is the killer. Uh Mitchell is the friend who uh finds out that Paul's a killer. So Paul and
Mhm.
Mitchell are going to Paul's father's house. And then Paul's like, okay, I need you to strip my dad and you're going to rape him just like he hired that prostitute to rape me or something. Oh my gosh. And he's going to film. Oh, yeah. And he's going to film it. Oh my gosh.
Oh, geez.
I was just like thinking, like, what's going I was like, what's happening? This is like off the rails. And then I was just like, and then and then there's a struggle and both his friend and his father die with a gun and then the criminal minds people come in and arrest him and they also shut down the camp and then it ends up being like you know that happy ending where like, the conversion camp shut and they were able to arrest the one guy but it's kind of like this was off the rails. like like you know what I mean? Like Criminal Minds, like it's not like Criminal Minds is like some lighthearted show, but it's like this show is just like turn after turn. You think, oh, he's just some straight guy who can't get it up and was killing all these women, but then it's like, oh no, he's gay. Oh wait, he was raped by a prostitute. Oh, he's gonna get revenge from his dad by having his dad get raped by his best friend. And it's like this entire thing where you're like, what the heck is going on with this episode? And yeah, and then yeah, and that was the episode. Season what episode is it? Um, what did I say? Oh,
Uh,
season 6, episode 13 or something. It's called Broken. Just look for Broken.
okay.
Um,
So I've never watched Criminal Minds, which is interesting because I actually really like those types of shows in general, by more of Law and Order. But are all episodes like this? Like, is this the norm? Is this because I've never watched a single episode, so I don't know. Like, is this just like run of the mill?
like there's usually like a twist where you're like you think oh you think like I was thinking there has to be a mystery so like you think you know who
Yeah,
the killer is and then it's like a oh no he's just he ends up being a victim so like oh he can't be the killer it's someone else like there is like usually that twist but not this kind of like Twilight Zone kind of like
yeah,
it's like okay I'm sorry is this like where am I like what kind of like and also like it was very well and I want to make it clear this wasn't it did not feel like a cheap shot at the gay community or like it was like a very well represented show but it was also like yeah like there's no homophobic language from the cops or anything it was all like a
yeah,
very positive show but like I just wanted like the plot was just kind of like yeah I don't know because it's just like that's insane I don't
yeah,
know and I just remember watching and thinking like what who wrote this episode what where did this come from they're not that crazy but you should watch it it's on Disney Plus so it's good because the characters are really fun and they each have their own personality and they bring something different to the team so and also oh you never seen Spencer brainy nerd guy.
This from the show? No.
Oh, I like Bones. Have you watched Bones? But it
No.
has Angel in it.
I know. And like I keep telling myself I should because I do really like that guy. The what's his name?
David
Dave?
Boreanaz.
Yeah. I like him. But no, I never saw Bones.
Oh, David Boreanaz is the most successful actor on TV of all time, and this isn't me like giving him clout. Since 1997
Yeah.
to today, he has consistently appeared on TV uninterrupted. So he went from Buffy to Angel, from Angel to Bones, and then from Bones he's on some SWAT or Navy SEAL thing.
Oh
So
yeah.
but he's never took a break. It's not like there's a break between the like a year or two off from Bones. He like the finale Bones ended in the fall or the summer, and then the fall he was in the Navy thing. I think the thing with like
Yeah.
Angel to Buffy to Bones is that like he's been consistently employed for over 20 years,
Yeah.
for 25 years. So he is the most successful actor. Okay, we're getting sidetracked. We're not talking about Angel. We're talking about
On a
Criminal
side
Minds.
note, though, Angel was great, and that show should have kept going.
Should it have though? And also, can we just have you read the comics?
No,
Okay.
I assume they continue the story, don't they?
Yeah, but Josh Whedon was like, "Oh, the good thing about the comics, I don't have to worry about. I have to limit the storytelling to special effects, like what can be done through special effects." So it also kind of goes off the rails where Spike has a spaceship, so that's all you really need to know. So,
Okay.
but also, I didn't like how they ended Angel. Like, I was like, I get the motive, but I also get the kind of message of like, oh, it's not about winning or losing; it's about the willingness to fight. So it doesn't matter how the fight ends. The point is that they were champions and they were going to fight because it's the right thing to do. But it also felt like, okay, I'm not saying everything needs to be wrapped in a neat package, but it also kind of felt like, okay, but realistically, I don't think two vampires are going to take down like 1,000 demons, you know? Oh, spoiler alert. Yeah, but yeah, like I was just like, I wish they could have wrapped it. I wish they could have wrapped it up where it's like, even if the world fell to shit and then they're like, we're going to rebuild it. And that's the ending where it's like, oh, how did they rebuild it? We don't know. But the point was that they're still willing to try and not give up. I just felt ending like on that, oh, you take 1,000, I take 1,000. It's kind of like, hmm. Oh, also, can we talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Do you watch that?
No. There's too many Marvel related.
Okay.
I can't. I don't have like the
Can
commitment.
someone in the comments tell me when this series starts to get good? Because I haven't finished season 1 yet, but it hasn't gone good. It seems very episodic of the week, where it's like, and also you could tell that's like, oh, we don't want to. We're saving the good things for Marvel movies. And initially, it was supposed to be a tie-in. It's supposed to go alongside Marvel. Like they talk about like when Hydra takes over Shield, like that's in the season 1. But they also like they never show Captain America or stuff like that. So it's like, and then I think they end up saying that it's not canon, like it's not part, like even though they reference things that happen in the movies, it's not canon. So yeah, but I am gonna watch it. Jeff said Jeff's on season 2 and he said that it's good, but I also know that like he's not really into Marvel as much. Like I don't think he scrutinizes it as much as maybe you and I would, where you're like, okay, this is boring. And also there's a lot of original characters where I'm like, okay, you know, even give me like someone from the comics. Like I'm not saying someone from the movies, but like give me someone from the comics. Like most of the team is just like original characters, and it's like, okay, so I can't even like get the background information on you. So.
Yeah, I felt like I remember season 1 of Smallville was like that. Like it was terrible. It was like villain of the week. It was like, who's this person? Everyone was apparently a monster secretly, like all the students. And, but that picked up. I really liked the ending of.
I never finished it.
It got good. Well, I didn't watch it for a while, and then I got back into it.
No offense, but I feel like Lana's character is very boring.
Well, that's why you have to wait until Lois.
I feel like she's like from the OC, whatever her name is. I can forget her character's name, but the actress name is Misha Barton, where it's just kind of like, I don't like
Marissa.
see. I don't like seeing you on my TV. You know what I
Well,
mean?
no, that's when it gets better, is when Lois comes in and we
Yeah.
forget about Lana.
Oh, actually, can we talk? So you've watched the OC?
Yeah. I
Okay, can we
love
talk about that
it.
drug overdose episode for Misha for what do you call her, Marissa?
Marissa.
Where she overdoses, her in the hospital, and then mom's like, "Oh, I'm sending you away to boarding school," and then like the kids try to break her out. Looking back, do you think maybe the mom had the right idea? Where it's like, I get that the mom was playing the villain character of like, oh, she's a bitch, like she's a monster, but also like her daughter just OD'd, so she's trying to save her daughter's life, and these little kids are dressing up as candy strippers or whatever to sneak her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of problematic things with the OC. Like, obviously, if it was to be like rebooted, it's a very white and not okay, not just white as in cast, but also like white as in like problems of like okay, it's like rich kids problems. Like, congrats.
Well, it's the OC. Like,
Yeah, but there's black people in the OC. I just like even Gossip Girl, they're rebooting it and like they have like a more diverse cast and like LGBT Q
yeah.
characters, but it also feels like okay, it's problematic. It's not even about the cast. Like I'm just saying, like the content is problematic. You know what I mean? Where it's like it's not. It's just it's white people problems played by a character of color or LGBT, but it's still like rich white people problems where you're like this isn't relatable content or this isn't enriching. This isn't an enriching story where it's like they're all terrible. Like you know what I mean? Like Serena is ODing her friends on cocaine. Like you know what I mean? Like, there's no sympathy for that. But then you're forced to be like, oh, but she's the main character, so I guess I have to have sympathy. Or
No, Blair took over that show.
or Dan being like a psychopath. It's like okay, so you're telling me to sympathize with the psychopathic white man. So it's like I just feel that those shows are very problematic. And this may get us into why we sidetracked the out of this. We're talking about Criminal Minds. Can we stay focused?
Okay.
God. Okay, so in conclusion, if you didn't know, now you know. Season 6, episode 13 or 18, maybe 15. The episode number will appear across your screen right now, called Broken by Criminal Minds. And let me know what you thought in the comments below.
I don't know why he left to begin with.
He was like a Derek in Grey's Anatomy of like, oh, I want to try something new, and it's like, know your role. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like when Izzy left Grey's Anatomy, it's like, oh, I'm gonna become a it girl in Hollywood, and it's like, no, you got like two good movies. Doesn't mean that you can quit Grey's because that's your steady paycheck.
Have you watched Ginny and Georgia?
No.
I enjoyed it. But it's not great TV, but I do think
she said you go through guys faster than Taylor Swift. And I felt like that was attack on all women. So in solidarity with you, my sister, I was like, I ain't gonna support this show. Oh, he made me delete my post on Facebook. Listen, I posted something funny.
Mm-hmm.
So I posted that picture. Oh yeah, the picture I sent the guy like of me getting my vaccine shot.
Yeah.
So I posted on Nick's Facebook, and I said, "Oh, words can't describe how I feel to get my second dose. I think I'll leave it to the great poet Sylvia Plath, who once said, he's trying to kick it like a ninja. He's trying to stick it like syringes. He don't ever play the benches, so I'm gonna let him touch it if he's playing with some inches." And I just like, I don't get it. That seems very avant-garde. And I'm like, no, that's the joke. It was a Nicki Minaj lyric.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I was accrediting to Sylvia Plath. That was some entire joke of like, and then anyways, he made me feel self-conscious about it. So I just edited it and was just like, my caption is, words can't express how great it feels to be. But another point was like somebody be like, wait, did Sylvia Plath really say that? Like that was the entire joke.
Yeah.
And he made me get rid of it. And I was just like, I need cooler friends who, but then also like, I mean, like it's funny because like our viewers would be like, oh, he's on Facebook. Like it's like, okay, boomer. So it's like that's my problem is that if this was a TikTok thing, people would have been like losing their mind about how fucking funny it was. But because it's Facebook and all these boomers there, they didn't get the joke. But I was just like, oh.
Oh, maybe know your audience.
Yeah. But I thought it was funny. And I was like waiting all day to, because I was like, as soon as I got this picture, I'm going to post it and post exactly this. It's going to be so hilarious. But no one commented on anything. So I was just like, they were liking it, but they weren't commenting. So I'm like, okay, either they're liking it without reading it, or they're reading it thinking that it's crazy.
Yeah.
But anyways, no one commented. And I want them to be like, what the hell are you talking about? And then I would have, like, that would have been the response I wanted. So then I could rebut it with like, whatever. Anyways, thank you for
I
joining
know
me.
what next week's topic is or no?
I don't know. It's more fun if we don't. Oh, Sailor Moon. Let's do Sailor Moon.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do Sailor Moon. Yeah, let's do
You know
Sailor
what we
Moon.
should do as a topic?
If you say, what's that stupid Philadelphia show that you like? Mages, Maze Quest, Mythic Quest.
No, although what's wrong with Mythic Quest? Why would I do Mythic Quest? No.
Also, okay, is that a show or is it like a
It's a show. That's
episode of the week? Okay.
No, it's a show. It's yeah. They had a full season. They're on season 2 now.
Okay. So what should we do then? What was your idea?
My idea was gonna be Game of Thrones because what the hell about that stupid ending?
Okay. Okay, we'll do Game of Thrones, but like I will need to. I have seen obviously all the episodes, but I will need to kind of read the Wikipedia articles to get the recap of
how terrible it all ended.
Well, I'm just trying to understand because yeah, you're right. Like it ended. It ended. We won't get into it. We'll get into the next episode. But yeah, like it was just like.
Okay.
What are you drinking? What are you drinking?
I don't know what I'm drinking today. It probably will be wine. I'm saving my Super Bock beer for tomorrow for the Portugal game.
Did you just say you're saving your Super Box?
Yeah, Super.
Is that what you call it?
No, it's a brand.
That's what I'm gonna start calling mine too. Like, you want some of the Super Box?
Bach.
Okay, that's done. We're gonna make it go viral. Come get on the Super Box, baby. Okay, bye.
Bye.